Just announced that Elon Musk will lead the Department of Government Efficiency. He will do so with Vivek Ramaswamy. CBC senior Washington correspondent Paul Hunter joins us now live to talk about the reaction to this news just breaking. So, Paul, what do you make of this, and what has been the reaction, or has there been any just yet?
Well, it's just happening all right now. Announcements are coming fast and furious tonight. Earlier this evening, word he'll nominate Pete Hegseth for Defense Secretary. Hegseth is a Fox News host, familiar to viewers of that network. He served in the U.S. National Guard and was deployed to Afghanistan, now Trump's nominee for U.S. Secretary of Defense. And as you noted, now more announcements from Trump. Are you ready? Trump saying billionaire and recent mega Trump backer Elon Musk, he of Tesla, SpaceX, and X, along with, indeed, former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency. As Trump put it in a statement tonight, they will, quote, pave the way for my, Trump's, administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. Earlier, the conversation on Trump appointments today was all about a couple of others involved with Trump's plans for foreign policy. One of them, a former Trump critic, but lately a fierce Trump supporter, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, now reportedly Trump's pick to be U.S. Secretary of State. Recall, Rubio, when he himself ran for the White House back in 2016, labeled Trump a con man. Well, that was then. Since that time, Rubio explaining that he was impressed by Trump as U.S. president. Rubio's been a staunch supporter of Donald Trump ever since, and that stuff matters to Trump. On foreign policy, Rubio's views have at times differed from Trump's. He supported protecting U.S. ties to NATO, for example, but he's closer to Trump on the matter of Ukraine. And Rubio now signals he sees the logical end to Russia's war in that country as being a negotiated one, which is presumed to likely mean Ukraine officially ceding some of its claimed territory to Russia. The other well-known name out today is former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, father of one-time Trump press secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Trump today announcing that Huckabee will be his nominee for U.S. ambassador to Israel. Like Trump and Rubio, by the way, Huckabee is also a very strong supporter of that country. Trump has said that he could end Israel's war in Gaza in 24 hours, and he said that he'd draw the U.S. closer to Israel's interests. Huckabee's job would be to help push that forward. Lots more names to come, Travis, as lobbying for positions of power and influence continues with Donald Trump. It was a busy day on that front today.
I am seeing
getting updates in rapidly, and we are hearing, this is from Cami Mondo, she's saying that Trump has announced Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy will co-lead the Department of Government Efficiency. You see, that spells out DOGE. Rich, and there we go. We have a statement from the Trump staff, and I'll read this out. Trump says, I am pleased to announce that the great Elon Musk, working in conjunction with American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, essential to the Save America movement. This will send shockwaves through the system and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of people, stated Mr. Musk. It will become potentially the Manhattan Project of our time. Republican politicians have dreamed about the objectives of DOGE for a very long time to drive this kind of drastic change. The Department of Government Efficiency will provide advice and guidance from outside of government and will partner with the White House and Office of Management and Budget to drive large-scale structural reform and create an entrepreneurial approach to government never seen before. The third paragraph. I look forward to Elon and Vivek making changes to the federal bureaucracy with an eye on efficiency and, at the time, making life better for all Americans. Importantly, we will drive out the massive waste and fraud which exists throughout our annual $6.5 trillion of government spending. They will work together to liberate our economy and make the U.S. government accountable to we the people. Their work will conclude no later than July 4th, 2026. A smaller government with more efficiency and less bureaucracy will be the perfect gift to America on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. I am confident they will succeed. All right, Rich, this is breaking. DOGE. Vivek saying we will not go gently. What do you make of the Department of Government Efficiency, Rich?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, Elon Musk, I think it was intimated by Donald Trump during the campaign that Elon Musk, if he were elected, if Donald Trump was elected, that is, would take this some sort of a position involving government waste. I'm a little bit surprised about Vivek Ramaswamy, because thinking about his political future, he's someone who had very little name recognition outside the Byzantine business world. Now, because he ran for president, because during his presidential campaign, he often defended Donald Trump when Donald Trump would not participate in the debates, he is now somebody that I think it was certainly probably on Donald Trump's long list of potential vice presidential candidates. But I'm a little surprised by this because I saw other openings for Vivek Ramaswamy. One of them would have been if the current governor, Mike DeWine, were to appoint him to succeed J.D. Vance to the United States Senate. There's a lot of pressure on Mike DeWine to appoint somebody who's more of a MAGA Republican. Mike DeWine is more of an establishment Republican, not an insurrectionist like Donald Trump. So that means that the chances are that he has a better chance of nominating somebody who's more moderate than Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy is somebody who I also thought potentially, if he did have a job in the Trump administration, maybe something more foreign policy, and that he shares the non-interventionist foreign policy of Donald Trump. Now, theoretically, he could stay there for a very short period of time, and maybe a year or so, and then get his kind of bona fides, having worked in a presidential administration. Then in 2026, run for governor of Ohio, which I think might be kind of his master plan to get to the presidency anyway. But I'm very interested in terms of why he accepted this and what he kind of sees as the kind of grand strategy here.
As Meredith McGraw says there, this is aimed at slashing excess regulations, cutting wasteful expenditures, and restructuring federal agencies. Rich, to our understanding, has there been an appetite among the electorate for a more efficient government? Has that been a staple of this campaign cycle?
Yes, but in many respects, it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When you ask people when you ask people a question like that, also everyone's going to say, yes, there's government inefficiency, there's government waste. We need to get rid of the waste and abuse, certainly. But when you really come down to it, is that a voting issue with people? No. It's voting issues with people are more or less economic issues, in some cases social issues. But this is really something that I think is really down the list of priorities.
It describes Elon Musk as the great Elon Musk, and great has a capital letter, and he'll be working in conjunction with the American patriot Vivek Ramaswamy. American and patriot also have capital letters. These two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government, slash excess regulation, cut wasteful expenditures. So I think, in fact, and shockwaves through the system. I think it certainly will concern a lot of people that what this might mean for the civil service, for certain government departments. For example, Donald Trump has said for a long time that he wants to get rid of the Department of Education. Whether or not that falls within this remit, we don't know. But this certainly gives a strong signal that Donald Trump, a week after his election, is moving ahead on those campaign promises. And one of them is to really slash and burn at government departments. He goes on to say that their work will conclude no later than July the 4th, 2026. That would be a year and a half into his administration, because this would be the perfect gift to the American people on the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. So certainly Donald Trump, in this lengthy statement, really building up Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy in this role. Of course, Elon Musk became a very, very vocal and loyal supporter to Donald Trump in the final stages of this campaign. He was also giving away $1 million checks to people in a scheme related to the campaign. So it seems that Elon Musk will be rewarded as promised, and Vivek Ramaswamy also being brought in there to co-lead this department. And I'll just mention briefly a couple of other key appointments that are really coming in thick and fast. The South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has been named as the Homeland Security Secretary. Now, she's to work closely on border issues, another key issue for this administration. They say they want to carry out mass deportations. And Kristi Noem, again, who had hoped herself to perhaps be a vice presidential pick, being tasked with that and being rewarded for the loyalty she showed to Donald Trump throughout this campaign. So the Trump administration, or the new incoming administration, really announcing a slew of appointments and nominations today, really showing that they're moving ahead very, very quickly, a stark difference to 2016, and suggesting that they're a lot better prepared, a lot more organized, and a lot more in line with